Hello everybody! Today we're going to unpack and take a close-up look at the Razer Sphex V2 Mini ultra-thin mousepad. So let's first take a look around the outside of the packet. So in this packet is a Razer Sphex V2 Mini ultra-thin mousepad or mouse gaming mat. So it does have an ultra-thin form factor, and as you can see from the packaging, that the mousepad contained within is ultra thin or slim in design. And taking a look at the back of the packet, there are some product features and specifications for this Razer Sphex V2 Mini ultra thin mousepad. So it does have an extra durable polycarbonate finish, a sensor optimized gaming surface for both laser and optical sensors, and it does of course have that ultra thin form factor design, being only 0.5 millimeter thick. It's right there, the features and specifications for this Razer Sphex V2 Mini ultra thin mousepad. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open up the packet. Of course, peeling off this pull tab and popping open the packet. Let's slide the Razer Sphex V2 Mini mousepad out from the packet and just making sure nothing else is left inside. There is actually something else in the packet. Let's tip it out and checking through once again, making sure very thoroughly nothing is left behind. Okay, so that's the packet emptied for the Razer Sphex V2 Mini ultra thin mousepad. I'm just going to set the packet on the right hand side of the frame right there, and now taking a look at the contents laid out across the tabletop. So you can see the mousepad itself ultra thin, so very low in profile, can't almost feel it, or just about feeling it above the raised surface of the tabletop. And just right there, giving you a look at the contents across the tabletop with the sticker and the mousepad itself, or mouse gaming mat. Okay, so let's first start off by taking a look at this. So there are some clear decals here with some, or the Razer design, as you can see right there, and just giving you a quick look. So two stickers right there, or decals, for you to stick anywhere you fancy. So setting that down, let's set it on the left hand side of the frame, top left, and moving right along, we do have the actual mouse pad or mouse mat itself. So you can see that it does have a spectrum colored design with those vertical lines right across, and it does have a polycarbonate finish, and you can see on the underside as well that there is a note here, just giving you a complete view first, right there on the back, as well as the front of the mouse gaming mat. And then just going to place my hand on top of the mouse gaming mat, just so you have some idea of the scale and size of this mat right there. Okay, so it is the mini version. There is also a regular version, which is about 55% larger than this. So this one measures 270 millimeters across and 215 millimeters deep right there, and being only 0.5 millimeter thick or thin, so super slim. If we can get focus right here, right there, you can see just how wafer thin that is. It's about as thick as a sheet of paper. So giving you a nice good look as to the details right there. So polycarbonate in design or construction with that polycarbonate surface as well. So ultra durable, giving you a look right there. So it is super tough and wear resistant, being polycarbonate. So giving you a look right there. So it's designed for both speed and control and suitable for laser as well as conventional optical sensor mice. Okay, so right there, giving you a look. Of course, we're going to take a close-up look at the back side. Digressed a little, but there we go. That's the Razer branding on the bottom right-hand corner of the mouse pad or mouse mat, as you can see right there. And once again, trying to show you the thickness of the mouse pad. Super thin, as you can see, as I mentioned, only 0.5 millimeter thick or thin. Super slim, super thin, as thick as a sheet of paper right there. Okay, and in terms of weight, super light as well, and you can see just how flimsy this ultra thin form factor mouse pad is. I'm just giving you a look in terms of, once again, that surface. So it does have a matte surface, and just running my fingertip along the surface, you can hear very fine-grained texture right there with that matte polycarbonate upper cover construction. And of course, what we are meant to look at close up was that back tab right there and the text that was on it. So let me see if I can read it through the very small LCD on my camcorder. So it does say, remove the plastic film completely before use. So if you peel that back, it will reveal an adhesive layer for which you stick on the surface of your, well, of your setup or tabletop, so it doesn't slide around, because that's the thing about this mouse mat. It does have an adhesive backed surface behind or bottom, so that once you peel off the protective film, it will reveal the sticky layer in which you apply the mouse pad on your tabletop, so it stays permanently or semi-permanently in place, so it doesn't slide around. And as I mentioned at the start, very thin mouse pad, and you can barely feel it being raised above the tabletop surface. So very low profile. You won't need like a mouse or wrist rest to work with this mouse mat. So very low in profile. No chance of pushing upwards or nudging it about. And especially with that adhesive back layer, you're not going to snag when playing with this mouse pad or gaming mat. Okay, once again, you can never get enough of a look at just how marvelously thin this mouse pad is. So once again, 0.5 millimeter thin, so ultra thin or slim, and with that polycarbonate construction, as you can see right there, giving you a look to that overall design, surface, size, giving you all perspectives to this Razer Sphex V2 Mini ultra thin mouse pad or mouse gaming mat. So right there, giving you some idea as to the construction, flexibility of this mouse mat. Obviously, I don't want to crease up this mouse mat, because obviously being polycarbonate, you can see it just about will crease if I apply any more pressure or too much pressure on the mouse pad. So you have to be careful. Once you stick it down in place after peeling back the adhesive back layer, you pretty much have the mouse pad permanently where you want it. And that's just how this mouse pad is designed to be or work. And you can see that Razer logo right there in the middle of this spectrum colored vertical striation type design that's optimized for speed as well as control for both laser as well as conventional optical sensors for your mouse type. And right there, super slim. And what a wonderful noise that it makes right there. Okay, so that's the mouse pad, the Razer Sphex V2 Mini. As I mentioned, there is a regular version which is about 55% larger, but this is the mini version, ultra thin form factor. And just before anything else, or we finish, I do have over here a Logitech G302 Daedalus Prime mobile gaming mouse. It was the first mouse I ever unboxed on this channel, and as you can see, still one of my most favorite mouse of all time because of the overall design. And this was about 5 years ago now, or just over 5 years ago, when I unboxed this mouse, and that honeycomb hex-like pattern is just something that you don't see anymore, and that's just uber cool to me. And very unique. You can almost classify it as a classic vintage piece now, given the way that technology has progressed so quickly. And right here, just giving you some idea of the size of the mouse and how it sits on this surface. And of course, I have to hold the mat down because it's not applied onto the surface. And just giving you some idea, it does glide very nicely right there. Smooth glide. And the noise that it makes as well, just so you have some idea of what to expect. So it is going to generate a bit of noise, but in terms of glide, really nice. And given that it does have an ultra thin design, being only 0.5 millimeter, it doesn't really jut out and create any bother or snag against one's wrist or palm right there. So just so you have some idea of the size again, just resting the mouse onto the side right there and giving you some various looks as best I can, and being as thorough as I can as well, as always, giving you a complete view and idea of this Razer Sphex V2 Mini Ultra Thin Mouse Pad. So that's the Razer Sphex V2 Mini Ultra Thin Mouse Pad. Thanks for watching and happy gaming!